KRockFootball.com.au. We continue the coaches catch up. We're down at Queen's Park catching up with one of the co-coaches of the Geelong Amateur Football Club in Cory Bauer. Cobber, thanks for joining us. Pre-season 2013 into 2014, recruiting-wise has been very fruitful. You've been one of the more talked about Ballerine clubs.
It's been good, mate. Been pretty lucky with how it's all unravelled. We once again put some time and effort into trying to recruit the right types of blokes. We sort of sat down at the end of the season and identified what we needed. We felt we didn't need much, but the key area is being some good midfielders and possibly some ruck side and some more tools. So luckily enough, it sort of all came together by the end of November, and we're straight back into it now. So.
Because you've recruited obviously outside, but the fact is too, you've also brought in blokes who are amateurs, fellas, McSparran, Lavars, Westwood, have all got history here.
It's exactly right, and it's good to get those blokes back. I think any club's the same. To get players of that calibre back to your club, it's huge. But you look at a guy like Ron McSparran, who's in his mid-30s, but played nearly 100 games here, played 98 games for Amos, and then kicked 100 back in 2003 or 4, I think it might have been, so before he went to Bell Park. So to have his experience and just, once again, a top fella, good bloke to have around the club. So it's great to have him back, along with, as it is with Benny and Josh too. So.
And also, I suppose one that did fall in your lap a bit is Kane Smith, a bit unexpected, and I think it took a lot of people by surprise.
For sure, and once again, once we heard that Kane was looking to move, it would have been silly of us not to speak to him. Lucky enough, he knew a few blokes that played at Amos and had some ties there, so we got a chance to sit down in front of him and present to him how we felt and how we thought would go this year. So he was happy with that, and luckily enough, he chose us. So there's a lot of clubs obviously chasing him, with like of that calibre once again, but to secure him and have him at Queen's Park, it's huge.
A couple of handy bigs as well. Zane Coventry's obviously played some good Golden Valley football with Kyabra, and then you add Dom Friend, and Dom played at Newtown a couple of years ago before deciding to go back to basketball.
Yeah, no doubt, and Zane had a pretty nasty injury there a couple of years ago. Did his knee, but also broke his ankle and a few other things. So he's on the mend, but he's started to play some good footy again back home. So to have him along with Dom who's fairly raw, I guess in terms of football ability, but there's no doubt with his athleticism, his size, that he can be a handy acquisition for us. And he showed that when he played at Newtown, playing 16 games there and starting to find his feet in the game. And yeah, we're great to have him down here. Bit of a family tie here as well. His brother played in the Twos grand final, so to have him here, it's good.
How easier has this pre-season been for you and Andrew Lovick as co-coaches compared to coming in as not unknowns but fresh faces to a football club? Yeah,
and Andrew and I've said it all along. We're glad there's two of us doing it because it's so much easier to bounce things off each other and pick up the slack when someone's busy. Andrew's obviously got a family with 3 kids, and we need to share the load a bit. But yeah, once you put the groundwork in the first year, and we know a lot of the guys now and how they work and how they operate. Now we can actually start to try and coach the way we want to go about it. And yeah, we had some success last year. We're disappointed with the way it finished, but yeah, we're set and ready to rock and roll for 2014.
How much of a motivation is that preliminary final legs of going into this year? The fact now it's 6 years since the last flag here at Queen's Park.
Yeah, look, we look at that and we look at the games during the year. We had a fantastic start to 2013 and started to dive towards the end with some injuries, but that's where the depth comes in, and to be able to recruit like we have, that's going to help with the stocks. And the Twos winning the grand final, we've got plenty of kids and guys that can step up. So that's in that regard, that's good for us. But yeah, it's disappointing the way we finished. To lose that first final against Drysdale down at Port Arlington, I think that's what really sort of set us back, put us on the back foot, and yeah, we're pretty keen to make amends.
Torquay, Port Arlington, Queenscliff, Model Warrior, an intriguing start to the year, a mixture of the top and the bottom to get things underway. Yeah, and
in the past, I think last year we played the majority of the start of the season was away. So to have Torquay under lights round 1, which is last year, it worked really well to have it early in the season. It was a great initiative by the VFL and Footy Geelong, so we're looking forward to that. It's a bit of a showcase where there'll be plenty of people around. It's still warm enough to have people holidaying in Torquay, so hopefully we'll get a decent crowd like we did last time, and get the season underway in a good fashion.
And the VFL rather like sending you to Queenscliff on Easter Saturday, don't they?
They love it, yeah. No, it's don't know whether it's the Easter eggs amongst the caravan park or not, but we're down there again, so all we can do is deal with what we get thrown up. So we'll head down there and hopefully a bit more success than we did last year.
Who should we be keeping an eye for? Anybody that's impressed on the track so far? A couple of kids or a couple of veterans maybe that have really impressed?
Well, among the, I guess, the recruits, one of the recruits that came from Lara is Nick Elliott, who played majority of his footy from a junior all through Lara, played a bit of the twos, and I think he ended up winning the twos best at Ferris. So he's been fantastic. His fitness is great. He's leading all the running and stuff we've been doing. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play. And then some of the older guys like Tim Clark and Trevor Robertson, they're still floating around and doing their thing. So no doubt they'll give us some good assistance through the year.
Do they get sort of looked after training-wise and this time of the year with those older bodies?
You have to, mate. You look at some of the weather that we've had too. As much as we want all to be doing all the work, there sort of comes a time and a place where you need to be smart and you need to look after the guys that, one, might be carrying some injuries from previous years, but two, age and things like that. But you don't want to burn blokes out too early because it's a long season. We started in November, so we don't want to wear them out too early.
I'll leave you with one. Obviously, the name Lovick down at the club always conjures up Daniel Lovick's name. We know he played up in Shepparton last year. Was there an attempt to try and lure him to join his brother here at Queen's Park?
Yeah, there was. Look, we're not going to make any comments about that. We haven't tried to speak to Daniel, of course, with Andrew and Daniel being so close and playing a lot of footy together. It would have been nice to have him here. But with the way that Shepparton finished in the end last year, losing the prelim to come from, I think they might have finished 7th or 8th the year previous, and then he won the best and fairest up there, so he's just done the right thing by the club that he's chosen, so disappointing for us, but there's always next year.
Fantastic. Cobber, one of the nice guys at the local footy scene, so it's great to talk to you. Thanks for joining us on carrotfootball.com.au.
Much appreciated, mate. Thank you.